Hi, welcome to Full Tower TV. My name is Rafael, and in this video we are going to talk about things that you should know before you buy the Thermaltake S100 PC case. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is the motherboard size. Now this case is compatible only with micro ATX and mini ATX motherboards. It doesn't fit full-size ATX motherboards. Now, if you're not sure which size of a motherboard you have, you can quickly check by counting the number of mounting points for the screws in your motherboard. So a full-size ATX motherboard will have 9 positions, and a micro ATX motherboard will have 6 positions, and a mini ATX motherboard will have 4. Now, some micro ATX motherboards look a little bit like this, which are extended micro ATX motherboards. They have 8 screws, but it is still going to fit in this case, just not the full-size one. In terms of cooling, if you choose to cool your CPU with an air cooler, make sure that the height of the cooler is not more than 165 millimeters. And if you decide to go with water cooling instead, make sure to double check that your cooler is not more than 280 millimeter radiator. That means that any water cooling solution that has 3 fans won't fit in this case. Only 2 fan radiators will fit. So 240 millimeter, 280 millimeter, you can put it either in the front or at the top, but you can't install a 360 millimeter radiator, for example. It just doesn't fit in this case. Now, for fans, the case comes with one 120 millimeter basic fan. It's nothing very special. It's actually pretty low on RPM. It doesn't make a lot of noise, which is a good thing, but something to bear in mind that it's not RGB as it shows in the pictures. So yeah, no RGB fan. It is just a black fan that comes with the case. I would recommend to get some better fans than what comes pre-installed with this case. And also, one fan is not really enough these days, to be honest. Something like this Thermaltake triple fan pack costs like $12 on Amazon. And if you want the RGB version, you can get this triple fan ARGB version for less than $15, which is a very sweet deal. And of course, I'll be linking those fans in the description box down below. Now, it is important to make sure that you know how to connect those fans. So this is a video from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How-Tos channel, where he shows that this fans comes with daisy chain option. So you can put one fan connected to another and use only one connector on your motherboard. This is very important to double check. Also for the RGB or ARGB in this case connectors, you can daisy chain them together. This is important to check when you buy fans, because some fans doesn't have daisy chain connectors where you can plug each fan to the other one and then have them daisy chained. Now, if you're not sure which connector exactly you should plug it into your motherboard, you really need to make sure that you have a 5-volt 3-pin ARGB connector and not a 4-pin 12-volt RGB connector, which is a bit of an older standard. ARGB fans should go to this connector. Don't mix between the two. You can accidentally plug RGB fans to this connector and it's different voltage. So make sure you have these connectors on your motherboard if you decide to go with the ARGB version. If you don't have an ARGB or RGB plug on your motherboard, you can always use a hub, such like this one. I'll also link a few ARGB or RGB hubs in the description box down below. Now for our GPU, Thermaltake note here that the max length of a GPU can be 330 millimeters in this case. Now it is a bit unclear what they mean exactly by 330 millimeters, because the case doesn't come with front fans out of the factory. And as you can see in this picture, they added 2 fans at the front, but we don't really know if the length is included with the fans or is not included with the fans. And what happens if you, for example, install a very big graphic card? You can see it does extend a little bit the bottom mounting place where you can put a 240 or 280 millimeter radiator. So if you put a radiator here, it doesn't exactly note if you can put a 330 millimeter GPU or not. I tried to check on Thermaltake website to see on the specification list, but all it says is VGA length limitation 330 millimeters. So I have no idea if it's including a radiator or not. And if you are planning to put a radiator at the front, I would take at least 5 to 7 centimeters clearance in mind. Make sure you're not stretching the limit with this case. Something like a 280 millimeter length in GPU can be excellent, but yeah, don't put anything that is very, very big inside this case. Okay, last but not least, the PCIe brackets are important to mention here. The reason why is because these PCIe brackets are the one that you need to bend and break before you install a GPU. Danger with those brackets, as you will about to see, is when you try to bend those brackets after installing the motherboard, you can accidentally scratch the motherboard like this, and it is very hard, and you need to be very careful when you do this. My recommendation will be to break and bend those brackets before you install the motherboard. If you're not sure on which brackets you should break, you can quickly just put your motherboard without screwing it and check which 2 brackets you need for your GPU. It very depends on the size of the motherboard, but anyhow, just make sure to do this before and not after, because as you can see, you can very easily scratch a motherboard like this. It's a bit of unfortunate, but it's something that you can see a lot of manufacturers are doing these days in budget cases. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Okay, and with that said, thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you found any of this information helpful. If you need any further assistance with your build, please feel free to comment down below and I will do my best to help you.